So my portable air conditioner died on me, and it is hot in this garage. It is about 82, 83 degrees. It got up to about 94-ish today. I work in a big city and it was 100 degrees. I seen 99 flickered to 100 degrees. It's hot, and I didn't want to buy another portable air conditioner unit, so I bought a Garvee mini split, and we're going to install this today and we're going to see how it does. And hopefully maybe we'll even supplement my Mr. Heater in the winter. So we need to get these out of the box, and we'll start with the head unit on the wall. I only have about 2.5 hours to get this installed before it's dark, so let's see if we can do it. It's going to take a little bit longer when I'm filming, but it is what it is. So let's get started. All right, so we got everything out of the box and everything looks like it's pretty good. The only thing I think I'm missing is the sound deadening pads, the rubber feet for the outside unit, which not a big deal. I can just figure out something else for rubber feet. Most of these Chinese things, they do come with missing parts. So if that's the worst thing that I got to figure out how to fix and do a workaround, is what it is. So I will leave a link in the description to all of this, as well as any of the tools and everything else that I used in the video. So go check that out, and let's get to mounting the head unit up there and drilling the hole through the wall. So we're gonna take the mounting bracket off, and we're gonna bend the line sets out, and then we'll get the template up on the wall and start drilling some holes. So you got 2 tabs on the bottom that you push in, and it lifts out. So when it goes back onto the wall, you'll just drop it onto these tabs, and it pops in. So we'll set this aside for right now. Now with these line sets, you need to be very careful. This is copper, and you do not want to bend or kink it. So all of your bends need to be very slow and controlled. Do not kink these. You kink these, you're gonna have some issues. Now we'll take our template and we'll drill a hole in the wall and get ready to mount the bracket and then stick it through the wall. So the mini split needs to be 8 inches away from the ceiling, so you need a little bit of clearance. So I'm gonna drop it down, and the template's gonna sit roughly right in there. So I'll mark where I drill the hole, and then I'll mark a couple spots where I'm gonna drill, and then we'll put the hole for the line set. So I'll put a level on the template just to give me a little bit of an eyeball. And then before we fasten the bracket to the wall, we'll make sure we level that again. I don't necessarily trust these Chinese guys. Cut this cardboard square. I doubt it, but maybe I'll get lucky. So we drill our hole right here, and we got marks for our other screws. Put the screw through, find my first mark. And the bracket actually has a level on it. Can you imagine that? There we go. I'm going to drill a 2 1/4 inch hole here so the line set will go through. It should be just enough for the line set to go through and for the cover on the outside to cover the hole nicely. So next step is to drill that hole. Man, is it hot in here. Voila, easy peasy. So now when you drill your outside hole, it needs to be at a little bit of a downward slope so that all of your condensate will drain out. Very important. If you don't have the downward slope, everything's going to pool up in the unit and you're going to have issues. So at least make sure that it goes down 1/4 of an inch or so, maybe even 1/2 an inch down. That way everything drains out nicely and you won't have any issues. I'm going to use this bit that's probably 14, 15, 16 inches long. That way I can drill all the way through to the outside, and then I can drill my 2 1/4 inch hole from the outside through the siding. Be a lot easier that way, and then I can run the line set through and mount the unit. There we go. Now I'll go outside and we'll drill that hole. So the instructions are pretty explicit and obvious, but the wires go black, white, red, green for the power unit. So once you have the power for the head unit hooked up and your lines bent and your drain, you can tape them all together with the tape that come with it. It's not very sticky, so I'm going to use a piece of duct tape to hold it as I shove it through the wall. About like that. Now we'll get this up here and we got to feed this cable through first, and then we'll shove this through and click in the unit on the wall. That is proven to be more of a pain in the butt than I thought. I'm going to take a little bit of extra duct tape and wrap up the ends a little bit better. All right, round 2. There we go. There. Wow. Talk about a struggle. Now we can move outside. Now that we got it poked through, we can take some of this tape off so that we can make the connections. So when you take these caps off, there should be a little bit of air that escapes, and that way you know that it's sealed up. Hopefully, yep. So we got pressure, so that's good. So we won't have any leaks on the indoor unit. If you do not get air coming out of them, return your unit. You have some leaks on the inside of the head. Now we're gonna uncoil our lines. You just want to make sure that you do it real gently and that you don't move too fast and you don't kink it. Yep. We're going to be using some Nylog Blue. Again, link in the description for all the stuff that we're using. So Nylog Blue is a sealant, and we're going to put that on all of our flares. Doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. It'll help seal up the joint. These should get torqued to whatever your manual says. But I'm kind of a cowboy and we're not going to torque nothing. We're just going to check for leaks when we're done. Don't over tighten these. Pretty sure torque spec is only like 30 foot-pounds. Now we'll do the smaller line in the same way. We will throw some nylog on both connections. We're going to pull a vacuum on these and we will check to see if we lose anything. That'll give us any big leaks. And then once we release the refrigerant, we will come back through with soap and water, and then that will tell us if we have any small leaks, and then we can tighten from there. So now we're just gonna kind of bend these down without trying to kink them. Easier said than done. Just trying to bend it straight down now. Nice and easy. So I put a healthy bit of silicone caulk around the outside, all the way around. And then we'll take this and we'll slide it into place. There it is, and I put another bead of silicone around the outside so that it'll seal all the water from getting behind the siding. Now I'm going to take the supplied putty and I'm going to push it into all these cracks so that no bugs or nothing can get in there. So I got this all buttoned up and I put some of these plastic clamps on here until I can get the line set cover set. And there it is with the putty. It's all taped up. So now I just need to order a line set cover to go on here. All right, so we got the cover off. Now we can hook up our line sets here and then we can get ready to do the vacuum. All right, so we got our vacuum pump out and we're gonna be only using the blue line, which gets hooked onto here. Again, I'll have a link in the description to this vacuum pump if you want to go pick it up. You will need a specific adapter to connect to mini splits for most pumps. Some come with them, some do not. This one does have one, so that's one thing you don't have to buy extra. So there's the adapter. We're using the blue line, which gets screwed onto here. All right, so we got to make sure that the red is closed, blue is closed, vacuum pump is hooked up, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn the vacuum pump on and we're going to suck vacuum till it's a -30, and once we hit the -30, we're going to close the valve off, shut the pump off, and we're going to see if we can hold that -30 for a half hour or so. If it holds it, we're good. Then we'll release the refrigerant. And if it's not, then we need to go find where we have a leak. So we'll start the vacuum and I'll work on the electrical while we're doing that, and I'll show you when we're done. I'm running out of daylight at the moment. So if we, for some reason, just all of a sudden pop the inside, I will run you through exactly what I did at a later time, maybe tomorrow. But for now, we'll get the vacuum going and see how we're sitting. So we'll turn the vacuum pump on, and then we'll open the blue all the way, and we will suck vacuum for about a half an hour. Okay, so I got everything installed and it is running right now and it's blowing cold air. So I let the vacuum pump run for 30 minutes and I let it go as low as it can go, and it pegged out at -30. I shut the blue line off and then I shut the pump off, and then you let that sit for another half hour to 45 minutes and make sure that the needle does not creep back up. If it does creep back up, then you have a leak someplace. Mine didn't move at all, which is awesome. So once you know that you're going to be good with your vacuum, then you can unscrew both of the refrigerant valves on the end with an Allen wrench, back them all the way out on both sides, and then you can, as quickly as you can, take your vacuum pump line off. You're gonna lose a little bit, it's unavoidable. There's a Schrader valve in there that will actually stop it once you get it all the way off. So screw it off as fast as you can so you don't lose any more refrigerant than they have to. After that, make sure all of your wiring is hooked up right. It's running pretty good. It's already dropped it about 3 degrees in 25 minutes. So I think this is gonna work out pretty good. I'm gonna do another update in a few days to see how exactly it's been running and give you guys a heads up of at least the first few days and see how it feels in here. It is pumping out a ton of water out that drain line, and that is good because it is very humid in here. And immediately after going out and button up everything out there, it already felt cooler in here. Awesome. I'll take that as a win, and I'll give you guys an update in a couple of days. So I've had this mini split installed for 4 days now. I installed it Wednesday night, and Thursday and Friday were both really hot days. They got in the upwards of 94, 95 degrees, and this mini split kept it at 71 degrees locked in all day in the afternoon when it was having heat warnings everywhere. So far this has been great. I am curious on how it's going to do with heating in the winter and supplementing my Mr. Heater 50,000 BTU propane heater. I am going to make a video comparing the two when it does get cold, and I will give you guys an update on how I like this after 6 months to a year of use in it. It's amazing so far. It keeps the shop at 60% humidity, somewhere in there, depending on how much I'm opening, closing the door. And I can set the temperature to whatever I want so that it's comfortable in here no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm exercising or shooting videos or building a project. It's gonna be amazing. If you guys want to go check this mini split out, it'll be in the descriptions, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.